If you guys haven't seen me build this, I pretty much built this entire thing from the floor panel to the brakes, all the way down to the wiring for the tail lights and the headlight. Literally everything. If you don't want to watch the whole build, just go ahead and hit that tap forward button. I know we all don't want to watch 30 minutes of me building it, but some people like it. Here's another project we're doing. So it's a Corvette bed that I'm doing a conversion on. And then I have another video for this. The link is right here. This thing does donuts and can do burnouts in place. It's pretty sweet. All the way down to the screen, it actually says the miles per hour, the battery charge, all of that, down to this fabricated switch to go from drive to reverse, as well as a working headlight and working brakes. This thing is sweet. Even added the little wing right there for some more downforce. 3, 2, 1, go. So I didn't get a video of the meeting, but I talked the guy down to 335. So there's a couple things that we need to do. We need a new brake caliper. We're probably gonna need a new seat too. De-rust some of the tie rods up there. The steering wheel is also not in good shape, but as far as the frame goes and the bearings, it's actually pretty good. So, couple things. I looked up some new tires on eBay. I found some used ones. We're gonna need all new tires, but all the bearings look good. Like, besides all the rust. Unfortunately, the bucket seat, like I said, is pretty beat up. The motor mounts are pretty solid, so excited for those. The bearings are actually really smooth. Actually, these ones are not that bad. Okay. Yeah, we might be able to get away with just replacing the dry rot. Steering wheel too. I mean, the steering wheel's not the greatest, so we could probably replace that. But the only places that we can buy from are Amazon, Temu, and eBay. The plan is we want to spend less than $1,500. The chassis, we are already at $335. So I guess we'll see how this all pans out. So the second electric go-kart is almost ready to go. So I got the battery in. This is a custom battery, so it's going to be 200 amp BMS, which is sweet. And I got a Kunray motor and electronics and stuff like that. And I got the tires, so start replacing those. The steering wheel. Probably going to keep the seat. I'll just clean it. But yeah, it's about time to start fabricating the go-kart. So we bought some little metal plates right here, and what we're planning on doing is putting them side by side and then drilling separate holes for the bolts so that the motor can line up with that. But we have the speedometer, we have the new tires. We're gonna use those tools to put the new ones on. We got the controller, I think the pedal, and then the battery right there. I gotta figure out the brakes because this brake, I cannot find the part number on it, and it seems like a custom bracket, so we might have to make our own. Okay, so I couldn't figure out the wiring. It's because I needed to connect a key switch. Engine mounting plate actually comes off. So at the bottom of these, it was like that, and then hooked the plate. So because we needed to move the motor over, it's a good thing there is this bar. It might be perfect. We're just stripping the metal down so that we can weld the brackets on. I actually made this next song, so let me know what you guys think.
22 candles burning too fast. Years keep on coming, they're flying right past. Life took it serious, it's hitting the gas. Life took it serious, it's hitting the gas. I want it my way, but life goes other ways. I want it my way, even though they wanna say Peter Pan, it's time to be the man, 'cause it's twice and I be rapping bands and I be getting money. And 3 years you doubted, the thighs be the loudest, but sit back and watch it, dummy. Got it once or twice, don't think that I'm a fail now. Kick it to the curb and clip it like a toenail. Kick it, flip it, know what's in it, what's the retail. Forever 21, even though I'm 22 now. It's hot in my room, it's the cooking I do, the songs that I write, the things that I brew. The one that I want is you. Off of the dome, in my catacomb, in my dome, focused in my zone. I feel so good, so in the mood, get in my groove. I just wanna move. Young in my head, I'm not trying to show up. Reality says grow up.
If you stayed to hear that, let me know what you guys think in the comments. And yeah, maybe I'll drop it. Maybe I won't. I never do.
Here and here. So these bottom plates right there.
tires. The tires actually took us a super long time, but we got the pedal connected. We got the battery mount, and we're gonna try and bleed the brakes tomorrow and see that have the controller mounted on each side. And then it actually still gives it airflow, so I really like that. I drilled holes for the mounting plate that we welded, and I'm actually just lining up the chain, and it seems like it's gonna be perfect. I'm wearing my girl's sandals, so no judgment. I couldn't find my sandals. But we're debating on whether to put zip ties on the battery or to make an actual bracket, but that's just a lot of extra fabrication that we probably don't even need. I got the motor mounted, so under it is just bolted with lock nuts. Surprisingly enough, the tires has been what has took us. I can't speak. Surprisingly, the tires is what kicked our butt more than anything else. This tire took forever. I had to put bead sealer. How the tires or the rims are put together is so weird. So I finally got it to hold air, and yeah, now I'm gonna install it. I think this chain is a little jacked up, so I might need to get a new chain. As for now, I'm figuring out if I need to swap the reverse wire or the motor wire so that it goes the right direction. Also got the front tire on. Okay, here's a first test run. Give it some throttle. It's beeping. Oh, the hall sensor is not connected. Okay. Take two. Holy sh. Why the motor was in reverse. It was actually a button in the app on Fardriver. So I just tapped the button to reverse the motor direction, and now it goes forward. So we are pretty much set to go. I rebolted the controller back in. I don't have any brakes, so I don't want to go crazy, but I might take it for a first spin here in a little bit. Oh gosh. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. I'm not gonna go super fast because I don't have brakes. Oh. Ooh. This thing is actually decently quick. I just don't have any brakes. I'd say that's a pretty successful first run. And the chain seems to be holding up pretty good. I still want to build a cover bracket just in case it does pop off. So we figured out that this brake caliper won't bleed properly. We also don't have a bleeder for it. So we're gonna use an aftermarket brake system. Wow. So we gotta take this caliper off. Don't mind my welds, I know they're absolute crap. I couldn't get the temperature right. I'm not even gonna clean it up because I don't care. But I just need to mount the brake caliper to those, and then these ones to these bottom nuts, and then put some washers in between them, and I think we should have brakes. So I have the new brake line, and I can't get it to bleed, so I'm not sure what to do, but I got the makeshift brake caliper bracket all put on, so Got the big bolts, 3 washers to line it up. It's pretty good. I just can't get this cylinder to push pressure. I've tried to bleed it like 5 times. Okay, so I made the battery tray. I just welded some pieces right there. I'm currently sick as a dog right now, so this project is taking way longer than I wanted it to. But the battery fits pretty perfect in there right now, and I just covered it with, where is it, hockey tape. So now it has some pretty good padding. Now I just need to make the wiring harness all good. And then we gotta re-bleed the brakes. I got that new master cylinder installed, and then we're good to go. So I got it going. It's pretty dark out right now, but I think we can get it up to like 30. All right, I'm gonna try and do a donut. Wish me luck. Okay, so literally the last thing that I need to do is bleed the brakes, which I need somebody to help me with it. I also gotta put a spring on the brake so that it returns. So I actually welded a piece of metal right here. I also welded a plate right here and then right here. And then I put it in hockey tape so that it's pretty well covered. And I'm actually pretty happy. I just put a zip tie to put the key switch. That's pretty solid. And yeah, this battery fits literally perfect. Like I literally just go like this. Start with that end and then sink it down. Perfect. Literally does not go anywhere. I put a zip tie on the brake line so it stays out of the way. And then I made the wiring a lot better. Okay, so I did a top speed run. I'm currently on a 66 tooth rear sprocket with a 9 tooth front sprocket. My gear ratio is like 7.33 right now, and I want to get it down to the 5 or 4. So I'm gonna have to replace, I'm gonna start with the front sprocket. I'm gonna go to a 13 tooth, and I'm hoping that gives us enough speed where I'm happy with it. If I'm not, then I'm gonna go to the rear sprocket and go down to, I don't know, maybe a 53 or 54. And then my top speed should be about 40. That's my goal with this. So I got that little nipple right there. You pump the brakes 3 times, and then you loosen it. Make sure you hold the brake while you're doing it. Loosen it. The air will pop out. Tighten it back. Pump the brakes again 3 times. Loosen it. Let the air come out. Tighten, and just repeat and repeat and repeat until the brakes are good. I hit the brakes now, and it literally locks the rear tires up. And yeah, so the brakes are working good. Okay, so I took the tray out. but I put some leather glue on the sides to hopefully make it so it doesn't pull apart. I think it's turning out pretty good. Let me show you. Yeah, I think it turned out pretty sick. One of the problems with the brakes is that it wouldn't return. So I ended up using the mounts that are existing. I put a bolt, I found a little bracket, a metal bracket that had 2 holes on it. And then I just secured those to a cord that I got on Amazon for like $8. And then I got these for like $5. They come in a pack. But now it works perfect. Like, literally couldn't have been better. So now it returns fully. Okay, so now that the glue is set on this leather, I just put it back in the tray. I gotta mallet these and then put some new screws in it, and then we're good. So I finished mounting it, and I think that made the go-kart look 10 times better. Okay, so I got the original sprocket off. This one's a 66 tooth, and I went down to a 53 tooth. So the gear ratio should be in the high 4s to low 5s now, because we're gonna be 53 tooth, and this is currently a 9, but I'm switching it to a 13. But yeah, this sprocket is significantly smaller. The chain barely actually clears this bracket, which I'm glad that it's pretty snug. I did strip a few of these bolts. I had to grind them down so that I could use a flathead to get them out, just because it just kept stripping. So I'm gonna get some grade 8 bolts to be a lot stronger. Yeah, especially with a new chain, it looks a lot better. I went to go take this bolt off and it just spins. So it either is the bolt that's stripped or the actual thread, which if it's the actual thread, we might need a whole new motor at that point. I got the sprocket bolts all in and that's fine, but now that's stripped, so now I have to wait for a little bit. And it's still not coming off, but I have a little more leverage, so I'm hoping I can pry it off. Oh, so close. Finally got it off, but this bolt definitely stripped. I finally got the sprocket off. It was tight as hell there. So now I got a fresh start. So we're just gonna weld it. That's probably what we're gonna do. Just put the other one on there and then put a washer and just weld it. Okay, so I got the chain on, it's pretty tight. And then I welded the 2 washers on there, and it's pretty firm. It's not going anywhere. Brakes work. Ooh, it's hot today. Yeah, that's way faster. It feels a lot smoother too. Woo! Still really torquey. Holy. I gotta see how fast this is going. It's way faster. Oh yeah, wow. There is a wobble. I don't know if it's... Jesus. Stops pretty good. Yeah, I gotta get a top speed. Okay, so the speedometer said that I hit 41 miles an hour. So it looks like we passed the goal. The motor doesn't seem too hot either. I mean, it's warm, so I don't know if that's good. The controller is like lukewarm, nothing crazy. There was a wobble, so I'm trying to figure out where the wobble is coming from. I think it is coming from, oh, what the heck is that? There's like water right there. I don't even know where that's from. Yeah, I don't know where that's coming from. It's obviously on the chain. I'm lost. I don't know. So weld's holding up. I finally tuned the controller. I had to turn the line current down. So now I have clips. So when we're ready to charge it or take it out, then we can put it back. Let's get that back on there. I actually have a couple things that I still need to do. We have a wing that is coming. We need a chain guard because I don't want the chain to blow up on right next to your arm. So chain guard. Then we got a step down converter. It's 12 volt or 72 volt down to 12 volt. So I needed to make another mounting bracket back there so that we can have a button for the headlight and then some brake lights as well. Just these little LEDs. I also need to figure out how to wire this heads-up display. It'll tell me the battery voltage and the speed and stuff like that. The spoiler has came in the mail. So I just welded some brackets right here and then drilled some holes in the metal bracket and then mounted the wing. The wing was only 48 bucks on Amazon and it literally fits perfect. There were some weird chain noises going on every time I hit the throttle and the chain was a little loose. Now I got it tight. I unbolted the brackets on the engine mount and then I moved it forward to tighten the chain up. And I think another problem was the engine block mount was moving upwards and making the chain wobble. And so I drilled a hole in the mounting plate and then I welded a nut to the frame, made sure it was solid, and then sunk it down with a lock nut. And now it runs a lot better. right now what I'm trying to do is wire up the display. So I'm reading the harness, and I think I'm gonna have to use the E-lock key and then the Lin boost. And then I'm gonna put a reverse switch so I can go forward and backwards. I got the DKD controller wired. I got the grounds right here. I got the Lin wire. I got everything wired. And then I also got the reverse switch, and it turned green for like 2 seconds, and then it started smoking. I forgot that this is only a 12-volt rated switch. Got it wired, and it is on. Now I have the mounting bracket holes that I need to drill already lined up. Got the display mounted, and it's solid on there. And now we have a display. I have to mount this plate chain guard. And I'm thinking of putting a bracket right here that it can screw into so that I can take it off. I welded a metal bracket that I found, and I actually like that idea a lot better than my original, to have it like this. It is sturdy as can be. I put 2 Loctite bolts on it. It perfectly protects the chain. So now it's solid on there, and yeah. So I got the wiring harness taken back apart. The switches come tonight, so now all that's left is really to just do some wire management again, and then put that switch for the headlights and the forward and reverse. And then the brake lights I'm thinking of putting right here. I have to weld a separate bracket for the brake switch so that the brake lights actually work. I completely destroyed the controller. So when I was wiring this converter, I did so directly to the terminal, and I was wiring the key switch for the reverse button. And so I decided, you know what, I'm gonna turn it on to test the reverse. And I turned it on, and a big pile of smoke just went everywhere. I checked the fuse on the converter, and it's not blown. So I took the fuse out, turned it back on to see if that fixed it, and nothing. So I'm gonna have to replace the controller. That was an expensive mistake. But I'm wondering, I noticed on my other go-kart that there is a converter right there, but the converter actually goes to this, what looks like a capacitor. Maybe I need a capacitor as well. I don't know if it just pulled too much current from the controller, or it wasn't reading properly. I have no idea. All that issue for a switch. But as I was taking it back apart, I noticed that the terminals were burnt right there, and they were seared off. So the key switch wasn't even giving the controller power. So I have a last resort. Okay, so I directly spliced the key unit and hooked the battery up, and now let's see. No way. This wire was the culprit. So I gotta get rid of this power wire coming from the remote wire. Because this, although it can support 72 volts, the controller line is not built for it. It's only meant to be a 2-line switch. I'm not hooking up a third wire, so there should be no power. It should only just be the reverse wire going in. Let's go, it's in reverse. Now when we flip it, it should be drive. I mounted the headlight. I just have a zip tie, so it's nothing crazy. And then I found an aluminum bar. I unscrewed the side to make sure that the screws weren't gonna hit any circuit boards or anything. And then just zip tied it, and it turned out pretty flat. And then I put the tail lights, I hooked those up. Oh yeah, that looks sweet. It has 3M tape on the back, and then I zip tied each side. And then I ran it so it doesn't hit the axle. And then with the headlight, I have it connected to a switch. Then I gotta take this, I'm thinking of putting it right here so that I can mount that to right here, which then makes the brake lights work fully. I just need to figure out where I need to put the spring. So I think I figured out the best way. I found this key pin. Might be able to just weld it like that, and then the spring will be right through that hole. And then I weld that bracket, and then the wiring goes back to the brake light. Just got done welding that. Oh, geez, that's hot.
You stupid.
They're not.
What's 9 plus 10?
21.
And this bracket, and it turned out pretty good. Looks like it's getting adequate pressure. And the go-kart is officially done. Got the brake lights working. So the speed gauge doesn't say the right speed, and it also doesn't say the right battery levels. How I'm gonna fix that is actually quite a bit of a process, but first thing, this is one of many things. First thing you wanna do is measure your wheel spacing. Find a spot on the wheel and you mark it. So for example, this thread right here, tape something to the floor, roll the wheel on the ground until it hits that spot again. And let's say it's right here, mark it with tape again, and then measure it with a tape measure in inches, and then convert it on Google into millimeters. Next thing you want to do is figure out how many poles your motor has. It's most likely online. Mine has 10 magnets. So if a motor has 10 magnets, you divide that by 2. That means it's a 5-pole motor. Then you need to figure out your gear ratio. So I have a 53-tooth rear sprocket with a 13-tooth front. So you take 53 divided by 13, and that gives you your gear ratio. You can round up if you would like, but I just like exact numbers. So it got 20.38 times 5 poles. And that's how I'm going to get the ratio to put into the DKD display. Yeah, and then the Fardriver settings, speed pulse is set to 3. I don't know why, I was just told to do that. Since we know the gear ratio is about 4, I put it right there. So wheel ratio and width and rim is gonna be found on your tire. So right here I have 10 by 460 by 5. So the first number that is in the system that you need to put is going to be width, so it's 10. Then the next is 460, which is going to be wheel ratio for 6. And then your rim is 5, which is going to be the last one. So now that's 5. Energy regenerate right here. So my battery capacity says 20. I need to change it to 21. And then you'll have to figure out what yours is as well. And then just hit save. Then let's go down to display. Speed pulses, we need 3. So let's change that, hit save. Now my wheel width is going to be 10. So let's put that. And then my wheel rim is going to be 5. And then my wheel ratio is going to be 4.6. Then my gear ratio is already set to 4, which I could be super technical with it and put it at 4.07. Oh, it might not have me. Okay, so I just need to round up or down. So since it's 4.6, it's more 5 than anything. So, okay, now it's going to let me. So now I'm going to hit save. So with the Fardriver app, I didn't know this. You have to be very broad with it. You can't be point whatever, which makes sense. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is hold the left button until I get this screen right here. Okay, but let's go to the first slot and go to 1, 5, 3. That's going to take us into this setting. So this setting is going to be the millimeters from your wheel marking that I said. So 812. So we want it to go to 0, 8, 1. No, I passed it. 1, 2. And then once you get to that number, just let off. Then it's going to take us to the next setting. So again, we want to just put in 20. So we got 20.38, but it's only going to let us put in one number. I was told not to change this number right here. So we're just going to put it in as 20 and then leave it. There you go. So I matched the GPS on my phone to the speed that I was doing, and it's actually pretty accurate. And the reason that it was reverting on Fardriver is because it was converting inches to millimeters or centimeters, I believe. So it was automatically converting it for me. Final overview of what we did. Tires, pedal, floorboard, master cylinder, brake light, brake spring, light, display, light switch, and forward and reverse, battery tray, line-out converter, custom brake, wing brake lights, sprocket and chain, motor mounts, chain cover, and then controller mounts. And that is it. The build is officially done. got it to go 50, which I didn't know it could do. I guess I just wasn't holding the throttle long enough. It just takes a sec to gradually get up there. So I'll take it for another rip. Well, for any of you that haven't watched part 1 of me building this, you can watch it right here. This is what this cart looked like before. So now that I have it built, I'll do a quick overview. We mounted the brake pedal. I redid the floor. I redid the steering wheel. I put a screen on it. I did the brake system, master cylinder, custom brake caliper, battery tray. I love that. Put new tires on it. Made a metal bracket plate. Put a bolt in it to lock the headlight. Made a custom motor mount. I have a KR5D motor. Made a chain guard to weld in the plate for the controller. A key switch for brake light, the headlight, and of course the wing that looks absolutely sick. I just figured out that I can do 55 miles an hour on it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a nighttime ride. And then I did ride it earlier today, so I'll keep it. 52, holy crap. Oh, something. I don't know what happened. Oh, there you go. That was weird. Throttle cut out. Man, it'll burn my hand if I hold it there. So temperature is not great, but it's also 100 degrees outside today, so I'm gonna call it. I'm super happy with this build. The next thing that I do want to do in the next video is put PVC pipe on the tires and then start drifting it. Because this thing doesn't drift, it has a ton of speed, but it doesn't have a lot of low-end torque anymore because of the tuning. It gets here in about 2 weeks. Follow Matrix Giveaways. It is my company. I'm giving away everything in these videos, including this go-kart. I want to get to the point in the future where I'm giving away much larger things, but I have to start with these smaller go-karts, bikes, things like that, to gain some traction, and then I can start giving away cars. That is the big goal for me. If you guys enjoyed this go-kart, make sure to subscribe. I am a smaller channel just starting out, so you won't be able to see the next video, which is this go-kart. This go-kart is literally triple the power of that one. The motor is much larger, and you can do donuts in this one. So I'm gonna do a video on it and show you the donuts. Thanks for watching. Clearance isn't too bad. I did the big walk of shame on that one. Bent the wing, bent this bracket. I mean, nothing broke though. I mean, this kind of helped as like a crash bar unintentionally. That's not crash. Well, I feel pretty stupid. I bent the back bracket and then I bent the wing. I mean, I'm just glad I hit the garbage can and not anything else. I just wasn't expecting it to not stop that fast. But it is what it is. I'm gonna let my neighbor know, but he's pretty chill, so I don't think he'll care. It's sliding way too much. Just have to dial it in. And it's sketchy because when you hit the brakes, you can't stop. So that's a problem. The wing isn't too bad. I could straighten it out if I really wanted to. Obviously this metal bent down, but it literally looks normal. Like you would never know I ran into a garbage can. So bad news is this cart is gone, but the good news is I'm actually getting a trade deal for a Trike and 2 go-karts. The trade deal has arrived. This is crazy, but he's trading me the electric go-kart that I built for the Trike, this go-kart, and the one that you just saw driving. This one has a Honda 11 horsepower motor, and the quality is terrible because all the weight is in the back. And then that shorter looking go-kart has a normal 212, and then the Trike is a Predator. All right, she's officially gone. Got this cart, drives like crap, that cart, and then the drift Trike. And she gone. The 3-wheel Trike is definitely my favorite. It actually has a Predator Ghost engine in it, and so does the other cart, the shifter cart. So I'm pretty excited to see how these builds go. I was pretty sad to see it go, but hey, we got 3 more builds.